Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving into a topic that's incredibly important for all of us, something that often lurks in the background without us even realizing it: the silent risk factors for heart attacks. Many people think of a heart attack as a sudden, out-of-the-blue event, but the reality is often quite different. The groundwork for such a serious health issue is usually laid down over years, sometimes even decades, by factors that don't always scream for attention until it's critical. It's easy to get caught up in our busy lives and overlook the subtle signals our bodies might be sending, or to simply be unaware of the underlying conditions that could be putting our heart health at risk. That's why understanding these hidden dangers is so crucial. Heart attacks don't happen overnight. They are often the result of long-term, silent factors that increase our risk over time. Today, we'll uncover 7 common factors that silently increase our risk of heart attack and what you can do about them. Our goal here isn't to scare you, but to empower you with knowledge. Because when you know what to look for and understand how these factors impact your cardiovascular system, you can take proactive, meaningful steps to protect your heart. We'll break down each risk factor, explain the science in a way that's easy to understand, and discuss actionable strategies you can implement. So, grab a water, get comfortable, and let's talk about keeping your heart healthy for the long haul. First up, let's talk about high blood pressure, or hypertension as we call it in the medical field. This one is a classic silent killer because, much like a pressure cooker quietly building steam, it often shows no obvious symptoms until significant damage has occurred. Think of your arteries as flexible pipes carrying blood throughout your body. When your blood pressure is consistently high, it's like forcing water through those pipes at an excessive force, day in and day out. This constant strain damages the delicate inner lining of your arteries, called the endothelium. This damage makes the artery walls less elastic and creates rough spots where cholesterol and other substances can start to accumulate, forming plaques. This process, known as atherosclerosis, essentially narrows and hardens your arteries, making it tougher for blood to flow freely. Imagine a garden hose that's getting clogged. The pressure builds up, and the flow diminishes. If a plaque ruptures, a blood clot can form, potentially blocking the artery entirely and leading to a heart attack if it's a coronary artery supplying your heart muscle. That's why regular monitoring is absolutely key. You can get it checked at your doctor's office, at many pharmacies, or even with a home blood pressure monitor. If it is high, lifestyle changes like reducing sodium intake, following a DASH-style diet rich in fruits and vegetables, regular physical activity, and managing stress can make a huge difference. Sometimes medication is necessary, and that's a conversation to have with your doctor. Next on our list is high cholesterol. Now, cholesterol itself isn't inherently bad. Your body actually needs it to build healthy cells. But like many things in life, it's all about balance and the type of cholesterol we're talking about. We often hear about good cholesterol, which is HDL, high-density lipoprotein, and bad cholesterol, which is LDL, low-density lipoprotein. HDL acts like a scavenger, carrying cholesterol from other parts of your body back to your liver, which then removes it from your body. LDL, on the other hand, is the culprit that contributes to plaque buildup in your arteries when levels are too high. Think of LDL as the sticky stuff that starts to cling to those damaged spots in your artery walls we just discussed. Over time, this LDL cholesterol, along with other substances like fats, calcium, and cellular waste, accumulates and hardens, forming those dangerous plaques. This is atherosclerosis in action, narrowing the passageways for blood. If one of these plaques cracks or ruptures, the body tries to repair it by forming a blood clot. If that clot is big enough to completely block the artery, or if it breaks off and travels to a narrower part of the artery, it can stop blood flow to a section of the heart muscle, causing a heart attack. Managing cholesterol often involves dietary changes, reducing saturated and trans fats found in many processed and fried foods, and increasing foods rich in soluble fiber like oats, beans, and apples. Regular exercise can also help by raising your HDL and sometimes lowering LDL. For some, medication like statins might be prescribed by their doctor to help get those numbers in a healthier range. All right, let's tackle a big one: smoking. There's really no way to sugarcoat this. Smoking is incredibly damaging to your heart and blood vessels. When you inhale cigarette smoke, you're not just getting nicotine, you're taking in thousands of other chemicals, and many of them are toxic. These chemicals directly harm the endothelium, that delicate inner lining of your arteries. Imagine sandpaper constantly rubbing against the inside of those pipes. It creates inflammation and damage, making it much easier for cholesterol and other gunk to stick and form plaques. This accelerates atherosclerosis significantly. But that's not all. Nicotine itself is a stimulant. It causes your blood vessels to constrict or tighten, which temporarily raises your blood pressure and makes your heart work harder to pump blood through those narrowed vessels. Carbon monoxide, another nasty component of cigarette smoke, binds to hemoglobin in your red blood cells much more readily than oxygen does. This means less oxygen is being delivered to your heart and the rest of your body, forcing your heart to beat faster and strain more to meet the body's oxygen demands. Smoking also makes your blood thicker and stickier, increasing the likelihood of blood clots forming. The good news? Quitting smoking is one of the most powerful steps you can take to reduce your heart attack risk. The benefits start almost immediately, and your body has an amazing capacity to heal. There are many resources available, from nicotine replacement therapies to counseling, so please reach out for help if you're looking to quit. 5. The sweet danger: diabetes and your heart's health. Now let's discuss diabetes, a condition that significantly elevates your risk of heart disease. Whether it's type 1 or type 2 diabetes, having consistently high blood sugar levels over prolonged periods can wreak havoc on your cardiovascular system. Think of sugar as being abrasive. In excess, it can damage the walls of your arteries, making them stiffer and more susceptible to the buildup of plaque, that familiar foe, atherosclerosis. This damage isn't just limited to the large coronary arteries, it can affect smaller blood vessels throughout your body as well. People with diabetes are essentially in a pro-inflammatory state, which further contributes to vascular damage. What makes diabetes particularly tricky for heart health is that it often travels with a bad crowd. Individuals with diabetes frequently also struggle with high blood pressure, abnormal cholesterol levels, often high triglycerides and low HDL, and obesity, creating a perfect storm of risk factors. Another serious concern is that diabetes can cause nerve damage, known as diabetic neuropathy. This can sometimes affect the nerves that carry pain signals from the heart, meaning that a person with diabetes might experience a heart attack with atypical or even no chest pain, making it a silent heart attack in a very literal sense. That's why meticulous blood sugar control through diet, regular exercise to improve insulin sensitivity, and prescribed medications, whether oral or insulin, is paramount. Regular checkups with your doctor to monitor your A1C, blood pressure, and cholesterol are absolutely vital. 6. The weight of the matter: obesity's impact on your heart. Let's move on to obesity. Carrying excess body weight, especially around the abdomen, often called visceral fat, isn't just about appearance. It places a significant and often silent strain on your heart. Think of your heart as a pump that has to work harder to supply blood to a larger body mass. This increased workload can lead to an enlargement of the heart muscle over time, making it less efficient. Furthermore, obesity is a major driver for several other heart attack risk factors we've already discussed. It's strongly linked to the development of high blood pressure, as the body needs to pump blood with more force to circulate it effectively. Excess body fat, particularly that visceral fat, is metabolically active. It releases inflammatory substances that can contribute to artery damage and also negatively impacts cholesterol levels, often leading to higher LDL or bad cholesterol, and triglycerides and lower HDL or good cholesterol. Crucially, obesity is a primary risk factor for developing type 2 diabetes, as it can lead to insulin resistance, where your body's cells don't respond effectively to insulin, causing blood sugar levels to rise. The key here is sustainable weight management. This isn't about crash diets, but rather about making long-term changes to your eating habits, focusing on whole foods, portion control, and reducing processed items, coupled with regular physical activity to create a calorie deficit and improve overall metabolic health. Even modest weight loss, say 5 to 10% of your body weight, can yield significant benefits for your heart. 7. Motion is lotion: why a sedentary lifestyle is risky. Now let's talk about something many of us might be guilty of, especially in our modern screen-filled lives: a lack of physical activity. Living a sedentary lifestyle, meaning you spend a lot of time sitting or otherwise inactive, is a significant and independent risk factor for heart disease. Your heart is a muscle, And just like any other muscle in your body, it benefits from regular exercise to stay strong and efficient. When you're consistently inactive, your heart doesn't get the workout it needs, and it can become weaker and less capable of handling stress over time. Think of it as motion is lotion for your cardiovascular system. Activity keeps things running smoothly, but the risks of inactivity go beyond just a weaker heart muscle. A sedentary lifestyle directly contributes to many of the other silent risk factors we've been discussing. It makes it easier to gain weight and can lead to obesity. It's associated with an increased likelihood of developing high blood pressure because your circulatory system isn't being challenged and conditioned regularly. It can also negatively affect your cholesterol profile, often leading to lower levels of protective HDL cholesterol and higher levels of harmful LDL cholesterol and triglycerides. Furthermore, inactivity reduces your body's sensitivity to insulin, which is a stepping stone towards type 2 diabetes. The great news is that incorporating more movement into your day doesn't necessarily mean you have to become a marathon runner. Aim for at least 150 minutes of moderate intensity aerobic activity, like brisk walking, cycling, or swimming per week, or 75 minutes of vigorous intensity activity. Even breaking up long periods of sitting with short walks can make a difference. 8. The silent strain, chronic stress, and your heart. Last but certainly not least, let's address chronic stress. We all experience stress. It's a normal part of life. Acute stress, like the jolt you feel before a presentation, can even be beneficial in short bursts. However, it's chronic stress, the kind that lingers day in and day out, often from work pressures, financial worries, or relationship difficulties, that can silently take a toll on your heart. When you're under chronic stress, your body remains in a prolonged state of fight or flight, leading to a continuous release of stress hormones like cortisol and adrenaline. These hormones aren't meant to be elevated long-term. This sustained hormonal surge can directly impact your cardiovascular system by increasing your heart rate, constricting your blood vessels, and thereby raising your blood pressure. Over time, this can damage your arteries. Furthermore, chronic stress often leads to unhealthy coping mechanisms that directly increase heart attack risk. Some people might overeat, particularly comfort foods high in sugar, salt, and unhealthy fats, leading to weight gain. Others might turn to smoking or increase their alcohol consumption, both of which are detrimental to heart health. Stress can also sap your motivation to exercise or prepare healthy meals. Beyond these behavioral links, research suggests that chronic stress can also promote inflammation throughout the body, which is a key player in the development of atherosclerosis. Learning healthy ways to manage stress is crucial. Techniques like mindfulness, meditation, deep breathing exercises, regular physical activity, which is a great stress buster, spending time in nature, or engaging in hobbies can be incredibly beneficial. And if stress feels overwhelming, please don't hesitate to seek support from a mental health professional. Taking control your path to a healthier heart. So there you have it, 7 common factors that can silently and significantly increase your risk of a heart attack. High blood pressure, high cholesterol, smoking, diabetes, obesity, lack of physical activity, and chronic stress. As we've discussed, these factors often don't cause obvious symptoms in their early stages, which is precisely why awareness and proactive management are so incredibly important. Understanding how each of these can impact your cardiovascular health is the first powerful step towards taking control. The journey to a healthier heart isn't about perfection, but about progress and making informed choices. By understanding and addressing these silent factors, you can take proactive steps to reduce your risk of heart attack. Remember, it's never too late to start making heart-healthy choices. Stay informed, stay healthy. This means having regular checkups with your doctor, getting recommended screenings, and being open about your lifestyle and any concerns you might have. Your doctor can help you assess your personal risk and develop a plan tailored to your specific needs. Thank you so much for joining me today to discuss this vital topic. I hope this information empowers you to prioritize your heart health. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up. Share it with someone you care about, and don't forget to subscribe for more health content. What steps are you taking for your heart health? Let me know in the comments below. Until next time, take care and be well.